Hi, born my dear children. Today you are going to learn ratio second part. That means inverse proportions. Okay, let us see what is inverse proportions mean. First of all, we have to learn, we have to recall the knowledge of direct proportions. Direct proportions mean when one quantity increases according to a certain ratio, the other quantity also increases in the same ratio. Or when one quantity decreases according to certain ratio, the other quantity also decreases in the same ratio. Then two quantities are said to be directly proportional to each other. If one increases, the other one also increases. If one decreases, the other one also decreases. Here I have given you an example in here. A to B ratio is 3 to 4 and B to C ratio is 8 to 1. Here I will write this example again. A to B and B to C. A to B is 3 to 4. B to C is 8 to 1. In here, as you can see, this 4 has become 8 now. That means the number 4 has been multiplied by a number. I hope that you can find out what is that number. That is 2. So now we have to multiply number 3 also by number 2 to gain the answer, to make the ratios of A, B, C equal. That means we have to multiply 3 into 2, that is 6. Okay, let us take another example. A to B is 3 to 4 this time, and B to C is 3 to 4 again. Here we cannot find out any relationship between 4 and 3. So I would write this example again. A, B, C. A to B is 3 to 4. B to C is 3 to 4 again. In here 4 and 3 are on the same column, so we can multiply and take one and answer 4 into 3 as 12. Here I have multiplied 4 into 3. So 4 is above the number 3. So there is another number which is above 3, that is another number 3 below A. So here we can multiply 3 into 3 below value with the above value, then we can have an answer, that is number 9. Again here, again if we come to the relationship to number 12, 4 has been multiplied by 3. 4 is above and 3 is below. So here there is another number 4 which is below, that means below the C. So we can multiply with the above number, that is 4. 4 into 4 is 16. Here we have gained an answer for all A, B, C. Now they are in the same line. So these kind of operations are known as direct proportions. A one number multiplied with the other number. That means when a number is increased with the other number, either it decreases with the other number. So these are known as direct proportions. Okay, let us learn what are inverse proportion means. When one quantity increases according to a certain ratio, the other quantity also decreases in the same ratio. Or when one quantity decreases according to certain ratio, the other quantity also increases in the same ratio. then two quantities are said to be inverse proportional to each other. If one increases, the other decreases. If one decreases, the other increases. So you can have an idea with the topic also. Then here I have given an example for this one also. It takes 5 men 8 days to complete a certain task. How many men are required to complete the same task in 2 days? Note, in the above example, the number of days taken by one man to complete the task, which is 40, can be taken as a measurement of the task. This value is called the number of man days. To solve this kind of questions, we need an equation. That is, magnitude of the task equals number of men into number of days. We can take this as work equals men into days. That is a very simple thing to remember. You can remember that thing very easily. Okay, here I have given you the same example again because it was on the previous page, so I have taken it to this page also. Okay, let us use this equation to solve this question. Work equal men into days. So we are going to find out one man can do this work within how many days. That means how many man days. Here I can substitute work equals men means 5 men are there, then into 8 days. So the answer will be 40. Here they say this is not the answer. Still this is not the answer because we have to find out how many men are required to complete the same task in 2 days. So I will use the same equation in here. Work equals men into days. So here work is 40, which we have found. Now we do not know how many men are there to complete the same task, but we know the number of days, that is 2. So here we can do a simplification and take the answer. That means we have to divide both sides by number 2 and make men subject. So the answer is 8. 8 equals men. I have taken it as 8 equals men. However, the answer is 8 men. So let us consider about another example. This time I have given you a somewhat complex question. Food sufficient for 12 days for a group of 40 men employed at a work site has been stored at the site. If 8 more men join the workforce after 6 days, for how many more days will the food that is remaining be sufficient? Here this time we cannot see any work, but there is food. So we can remake that equation as food equals men into days. So first of all we are going to find out food which was stored using, there is a mistake in here with the slide. Don't worry about that. Food equals men into days. Here food equals, here there are 40 men in here, so 12 days. Then when we multiply that thing, we can have an answer as 480. After that we have to find out food which was for the first 6 days, because after 6 days another 8 more men was joined. So before that thing, we have to find food which was for the first 6 days using the same equation. Here also food equals men into days. Here we can write food equals, now 40 men, there are 40 men, but days are 6. So 40 into 6, the answer is 240. Now thereafter we can find out the food which was remaining from the stock. So here we have to subtract 480 by 240. Then you will receive an answer as 240. So finding the remaining stock of food is very important. Then again we can find out number of days that the remaining food be sufficient using the same equation, that is food equals men into days. Here now the remaining food is 240. Then there are 48 men because 8 more men join the workforce after 6 days. But in here we do not know how many days are remaining for the food stock. Now, so here also we can do a simplification. That means we can divide both sides by 48. Then we can get an answer as 5 days. So 5 days. Then previously it was 6 days, and with this 5 it is 11 days. So the stock was for 12 days. So how many more days mean for another 1 day the food is remaining. Okay children, I hope that you did understand something for the about the inverse proportion. So let us see you again another episode. See you again. Thank you.